Howdy everyone, Poacher here with an Age of Magic video, and in today's video we're going to go over the information that was released in the social media platforms about Age of Magic. There's a fair bit to it, so let's get into it. Hi everyone, we see that changes in event schedules and rewards are causing concerns among our players, so we want to address your questions about the Luxuria event and share some information about our future plans. We understand the importance of transparency in our dialogue with players, which is why we plan to publish a calendar of major game events each month. As we did for July, we hope that the event calendar will help you manage your resources and time things better, essentially. All right, so if we scroll up, we can see the calendar that was released. Let's have a look at it. Pretty straightforward. You see your Luxuria event here. You've got your milestone events. The calendar is almost necessary. The game has turned essentially into resource management. That's all the game is. It says it later on in the notes, I believe. I've only skimmed through it, but we are getting this event every month. So you have 1 to 6, you have 16 days where you can spend resources, 2 days per resource. And then from the 17th to the 31st or the 30th or the 29th, depending on the month, it's a downtime. This is my biggest suggestion to you, and it's going to be painful to hear. Do not spend your resources in this downtime. You are hurting yourself by doing so, because if you spend your resources, bar your energy that you need to daily, what's the point? What are you doing it for? This event is coming around monthly now. You are hurting yourself. And these rare heroes are going to be locked behind how well you do in these events. Whether you're free to play, whether you pay to win, it all depends on these events. So don't hurt yourself. Save your resources. Like I said, for growing accounts, this is absolutely treacherous because you obviously want to be building your account so you can do better. Now you're restricted to doing it. You're not restricted. You obviously can go ahead and do it outside of the event. Nothing's stopping you, but it's hurting you. So just keep that in mind. It's going to be hard, and we've got the passes when they're coming out. I wish these lines were made a little bit more clear. And you got Magic Pass. You can see that's continuing, and we have another Sid event coming. And you've got Cradle of Chaos. I don't see why Cradle of Chaos is necessary to mention in this graph. If you want to have it, that's fine. I think that you need to add what season of Cradle of Chaos it is, if you want to put it in. Just saying Cradle of Chaos, just get rid of it. We can see in game very clearly when Cradle of Chaos is active and inactive. So I think if this is going to remain in the infograph, just put what season is coming up. Season 3, Season 4, Season 1, Season 4, Season 2, Season 4, and so on. So yeah, it's nice, a good start, just a bit of information, but yeah, just be aware that save your resources. Moving on, we have finalized the scheme of obtaining the strongest heroes of Arat in festival events. As you may have noticed, such events start at the beginning of each month. So, like I said, we are getting this every month now. The path to obtaining the strongest heroes in the game cannot be easy, but you will have several opportunities to summon them. Luxuria and subsequent Legend of Arats will have 3 events each for summoning and upgrading. Sid, as a true Lord of Chaos, tries to confuse everyone in Arat with his appearance, but the order will be restored. Honestly, I just don't even really care about Sid and what's going on with him. Luxuria, on the other hand, so these heroes are going to have 3 events, so 3 months dedicated to this one hero. That's 4 heroes a year. Okay, so yeah, we're currently in the first cycle of Luxuria, then next month will be the second, and the month after will be the third, then a new hero will come out. So yeah, start saving your resources, use them during the festival events, and go from there. I mean, yeah, like I said, it's going to be painful, but just hold them in between. You are just hurting yourself otherwise. It's massive resource management now. Massive resource management. We've got a lot of questions about the fate of already released Legend of Arat and their summoning currencies. We will gradually exchange all existing Legend of Arat currencies into Shadow Talismans at specific rate. Shadow Talismans can be considered as the currency of the past events. With this currency, you can get previously released Legend of Arat heroes and their arcane stars for them during a certain period. For example, the beautiful Queen Lilith will not miss her chance to reappear in the Halloween event. Oh. I'll finish the paragraph. Along with Lilith, a hero of the past event, there will be a new hero during Halloween, a mysterious boss and treacherous assassin. I wonder who it could be. A treacherous assassin. Stepping out from the darkness at the most unexpected moments, you should be well acquainted with him if you follow Arat's lore. You will be able to summon the mysterious boss, treacherous assassin, who is a boss. I wonder who it could be. Spoiler alert, we're getting the leadership skill for Worm Priest. During the festival for Shining Talismans, spreading misinformation. The currency of current events. After all 3 festivals of a new hero, the remaining Shining Talismans will be automatically exchanged for Shadow Talismans. This way, you can purchase heroes you didn't summon earlier. Keep an eye on the schedule of hero reappearances in Legend of Arat so you don't miss anything. All right, let's dissect everything here. This is a lot. Apart from the hashtag misinformation, spread misinformation, we're getting Worm Priest's leadership ability, boss, treacherous assassin. That's all it could possibly mean. There are some things here I like and there are some things I dislike. Number 1, the golden, let's just call gold tough. Forget Shining Talismans to Shadow Talismans. I'm okay with that system. That's fine. If you want to release new heroes, make them exclusive for players, it's a mobile game, whatever. Every player who plays through the 3 events is going to unlock the hero. It's maxing the hero that's going to be difficult. That's understandable. You have 3 sessions to do so. So Luxuria is currently active. Whatever talismans you are getting right now for Luxuria are not going to turn into Shadow Talismans in a few days. When her event comes around next month, you'll still have those Shining Talismans. And then the 3rd month, they will still be Shining Talismans. By the 3rd month, you will understand whereabouts you're going to be in unlocking these heroes. After Luxuria's event ends, the Shining Talismans then will turn into Shadow Talismans, and when the next hero starts, you will need to collect Shining Talismans again. It's a pretty straightforward gotcha system. Whatever. That's the part I want to focus on. It's this part I am not a fan of. Keep an eye on the schedule of hero reappearances. And this part up here. Beautiful Queen Lilith will reappear in the Halloween event. The current state of Age of Magic is essentially based around raiding. The highest level raid you can do is Nightmare Raid. And Nightmare Raid is heavily restricted to 8 factions, which, to do the absolute best in Nightmare Raid, you are only using 5 of those 8 factions. Those are Cloud Wanderers, the Van Norths, the Assassins, the Guardians of Order, and the Witches. 2 of those factions currently have very restricted heroes. Cloud Wanderers, Cap Fae, and Bliss. I've seen arguments that people using Bliss. I personally don't use Bliss, and I don't think I need to use him. And Lilith. I could not picture myself doing the sections of the raid that require Cloud Wanderers and Witches without having Cap Fae and Lilith. It would be impossible unless they were absolutely maxed gear 15, 7 arcane stars, ridiculous requirements. You could maybe run a Diana leader, but just being a regular player, you need to have Lilith, you need to have Cap Fae. To come along and say that these heroes are going to sometimes appear in the game, I'm not a fan of that. If the end goal is to have these heroes available for Shadow Talismans, then just make them available for Shadow Talismans 24/7. Don't make a store that's going to sometimes appear. Don't make a section of the game, which is the most prominent section, the section that everyone is aiming towards to eventually get there. Don't make it harder than it already is. It is ridiculously hard. It is the most gear level Arcane Star restricted content in the game. Then to go ahead and then further release heroes periodically throughout the year that you need to do these raids makes 0 sense. They're going to be available for Shadow Talismans. Just make the Shadow Talisman store 24/7. In the Legend of a Rat section, have a Shadow Talisman section and have these heroes in there. Let people spend their Shadow Talismans however they want. Put Cat Fae in there, put Lilith in there. If you're hyping up the Halloween event, hype it up for Worm Priest's leadership ability, okay? The boss of the Treacherous Assassins Worm Priest leadership ability. Hype that up for the Halloween event. Don't hype it up for Lilith, who is one of the most important heroes in the game, but at the same time is irrelevant when it comes to heroes being released. She's no longer relevant in that sense. She's been released. She's had her time to shine. She's had her time where you want to make her hard to get. She's old content. Throw her in the old content section. Throw Cat Fae in the old content section. Let people get them. They need it for the game. It is so important. So don't restrict these heroes. That makes 0 sense to me. 0 sense to me. Keep the Shadow Talisman system. Keep the Shining Talisman. Whatever. And we can't win them all. But don't keep these heroes locked away. It makes 0 sense for players who are trying to progress in the game. In the section down the bottom, now this is the most interesting section. This is something I'm actually excited for. Really excited for. Regarding the new hero releases, we've got some news here as well. The next faction, which we'll reveal very soon, will have strong synergy with the existing Archons. The Golden Light will lead you to victory once again. Moreover, we hear that our players want to see new heroes added to existing and beloved factions. Can a faction have more than 7 heroes? You'll find out in future announcements. Don't throw a winky face in there. Don't tease us with it. Just say you're doing it, okay? There's no point in doing this and then you know, never, ever do it. 7 heroes per faction to me makes 0 sense. 0 sense. There are 2 things I've always promoted and asked for in this game. Number 1, factions go beyond 7 heroes. Number 2, I want to see new classes. I don't understand why we're stuck to 7 classes. Boss, healer, tank, range damage, melee damage, rogue, and caster. Yes, that's the 7. I got them. Woo! Got them. That's new classes. I honestly believe healer class and support class should be different. That's one thing I want to see. There are definitely healers out there who are more support classes than they are healers. I think it gives an opportunity for way more versatility in the game. Alright, so we're getting new faction that benefits the Archons. Essentially, let's call them the new Archons. And it goes to show that I honestly believe at the bottom of my heart the Archons are Playcot's most favourite faction in the game. They have babied the Archons the entire time. They were so strong for so long. They don't want to see them die. They're coming back. And I wholeheartedly believe the Van Norths are Playcot's least favourite faction. I don't know why. I just feel like Van Norths get bent over so often. So often. So, there we go. But Archons, and then there. Okay, I'm gonna say this. Okay, I can't say much. I have seen 2 of these new heroes that are being released for a pre-existing faction. It is a faction everyone loves. They are going beyond 7 heroes, so they will be the first faction with 9 heroes. Graphically, they look absolutely stunning. They're an art style I have been very, very fond of before Age of Magic. Back when I was playing World of Warcraft, if that's a hint. There was something released in World of Warcraft, and it was like my favorite section of the map because they looked so cool. And it is a faction I believe is absolutely beloved by the community. I think if we had to rate factions and what factions people like, I think this would be one of the top 3. Oh, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know. Definitely top 5. It'd definitely be top 5. So, yeah, they are. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. I'd love to see how it's going to work, because let's also keep in mind a lot of the older factions, they just don't stand up to new factions. So how are 2 new heroes going to in any way help these factions perform and play in the game? But yeah, this is the thing I'm most excited about, going beyond 7 heroes. So yeah, that's everything happening in the game at the moment. Save your resources, spend them wisely, and yeah. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. I will answer it to the best of my ability. And we'll be around the world. Until next time, please take care of yourself.